What's going on, guys? Cesar Media here, coming live from inside my Evo. Today I'm gonna answer a question that's kind of frowned upon to ask another Evo owner or any other car guy, and that is, how much time and money have I spent to get to where I am today with this Evo? So the reason why I'm filming this video is because one of my subscribers asked me, actually I get questions all the time from you guys asking me little details about Evo, like what kind of offset are you running on your wheels, what turbo are you running, how many PSI are you running, what bushings are you running, things like that of nature. So if you guys are interested in detailed information of my Evo and what parts are on the car, you can go to my website cesarmedia.com, and there's a little link on the bottom of the page where you can access the build list of my Evo. Now, I have done a video in the past where I did a walk around of this particular Evo, showing you what kind of parts are on here, what I've done to the car. But today, I'm gonna show you how much money I've spent on each component. And I'm just gonna give you a rough estimate on what it costs and what the retail would be, because to be honest, a lot of parts on my car are coming from sponsors, or it's the parts I bought with my discounted price that you can also get from cesarmedia.com. It's crazy how spiked up the retail prices for performance parts, not just Evos, but like Subarus, GTRs, you look at your Lamborghinis. I bet you every single part out there that's aftermarket has like 40%, 50% markup. But anyways, I'm gonna walk you through, starting from interior, exactly what kind of parts are installed on this Evo. Now, before I forget, I'm gonna start with my rear view camera here with integrated DVR system. It is the model HDVR-150. It's basically a dash cam with a camera mounted on the back of it. So it's a rear view mirror, but it's got an on screen here that you can see exactly what it's filming. I prefer this design because everything is nice and neat, integrated into the rear view mirror, so you don't even realize that there's a dash cam in the car. This is especially nice if you do track days in your car because it's all in one piece, right? You don't have to worry about dash cam that's mounted on the windscreen that might fall off. Now, on my Dodge Ram, because the mirror is so big, I had to get a separate, different system, unlike the rear view mirror integrated unit that you see here. With the radio detector here, I have the ESCO 9500 series, GPS integrated, and it is hardwired into the car. And actually, is it even on right now? Alright, starting from the radio relocation. So on the stock Evo, you're gonna see the radio mounted up here. You have the gauges in my case, but you have to basically relocate the radio from up here to the bottom to get the same look that I have going on. The single DIN Pioneer DEHX6800 series, I got it for like $100 on Amazon. This replaced my flip up screen that came up and went up, which cost me like close to $1,000. It's amazing how much radio systems has reduced in price just in a couple past years. And the audio quality out of these Pioneers are great. For $100, I am super impressed with the quality. If you have OEM head unit in your Evo, go watch my how to install radio in the Evo video and get yourself a new head unit, because it increases the audio quality so much and it sounds so much better. Okay, so from right I have the AEM boost gauge. I'm running the FP Black Turbo. I'm pushing about 32 PSI right now. In the middle here is the AEM air fuel ratio gauge, and on the left is the oil pressure and oil temperature gauge by Innovet. Now these are pretty much $200 each, so $600 just in gauges right here. I got rid of the steering column pod because it was blocking the fuel gauge here on the right, and it was also kind of blocking like the brake indication light there on the left. Down here, I know it's kind of messy. This Evo actually came with the MR trim here. So it's not an MR, it's a 5-speed transmission. It's a GSR, but it already had the MR. And the short shifter I have here is a Busher short throw shifter. Works great, love it. Got it for about $135. I also have the Torque Solution shifter based bushing kit, which really gives it a solid engaging point, and it makes a huge improvement. It's basically a solid bushing. So stock Evos come with rubber linkage where the shifter goes into the engine bay and connects to the transmission. So you're basically replacing those rubber bushings with metal shifter bushings, and that gives you such solid engaging feel that I highly recommend it. For like $35, you can't beat it. It's such a great upgrade. I have the Rexpeed polarized mirrors. I think I got these for like $100. It's actually concaved and it gets rid of all the blind spots, and of course it's blue so you don't get blinded at night with trucks with HIDs. But it also gets rid of blind spots and it looks cool, and it's actually very functional. I really recommend that. It's nice. It's just kind of glued onto the stock mirror. If you look close here, you can see that it was glued onto the stock mirror, so you can't really take that off. I have the squash racing harness. Very nice piece here. On driver side and passenger side, it is mounted to the child seat bracket in the back of the car. This is not the way you should install these. Just because if you get hit by the rear of the car, everything's gonna just cave in, and therefore you're gonna get seatbelt that's loose. So this is not the recommended installation. The reason why I did it like this is because I was gonna install a roll cage in the Evo, which haven't happened. And to be honest, ever since I picked up all these cars, all these different projects, I haven't really had the time to upgrade the Evo. All the work I've been doing on my Evo, if you have noticed, has been maintenance. So these racing harnesses, which are great, I got for like $200 each. And actually what's great about these is that it's very street friendly because it's got belt buckle like your regular car seat belt. So you just clip that in left to right. I got here the custom bride center console. I don't really know how much I would have to pay for this brand new because I found it used on Evo M. I think I paid like $100 for it. But the common issue with Evos is that this wears out. So it's very nice that it's being covered by this bride piece. It looks awesome. Not many people notice it, but when they do, they're like, oh wow, that's cool, that's so custom. With the seat, I don't know if I ever did a video on this because I installed it before my YouTube days. I have the binary engineering seat lowering brackets. I got it for like $125. Basically, it's a bracket that you attach. Here you go, you can see it here. You take out the OEM seat brackets and you install these binary lowering kits, and it makes a huge difference in terms of adjusting the Evo 8 seat height. If you don't want to get aftermarket seats, this would be a great way to go. I'm 6 feet by the way, and I didn't have any issue driving the Evo. 6 feet is good height. It's not too tall for me to drive the Evo stock, but getting these brackets really kind of gave you more sporty feel, right? It lowered the center of your butt basically, and it made the driving just like a whole new experience. So now coming to the back of the car, not much. I got it out the seats, so there's no rear seats in here. Like I said, I was gonna do roll cage, but I haven't had a chance to do that, so it is what it is. Another question I get all the time with my Evo, because I remote start it all the time, is what kind of alarm system do I have? I have the Viper 5901 series, and yes, you can install it on a car that is manual. You just have to be careful that you don't start the car in gear, which I have a few times, and you're good to go. It's good on built cars like this, so you can start up the engine and make sure it's warm before you get going. And it's also nice if you daily your Evo in the winter time and you want to warm up the car before you go. So let me just show you how that works. You just hit the remote start button here and make sure it's in neutral, and it starts just like that. And you can turn it off too if you want. Just hit it again, just like that. Alright, let's talk about the drivetrain here. The drivetrain in this Evo, of course, has been upgraded. I have the Bushers and Bushwhacker transmission. I got it for about $1,000. Oh, actually, the Viper alarm, 5901 alarm, I got for like $250. The transmission is $1,000. X80 Twin HD clutch is $2,000. I got a TRE differential in the rear. Awesome upgrade. The car sounds so much better, and coming out of corner has become a whole new experience for me. It's so much fun with the new upgraded diff. Got it for $1,000. I pretty much have all the bushings in the rear done by Whiteline. The control arm bushings, the trailing arm bushings, diff mount bushing, all that. I probably spent like $500 front and back. The rear sway bar is by Perrin. I'm not sure he can really see that. I got that for $200. Agency power adjuster wheel endings, $175. The suspension here, the coilovers, and sorry if it's dirty because I don't really wash this thing too much. It's not a show car, guys. Fortune 500 by Fortune Auto. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's got the Swiss spring upgrades as well, and the rotor bearing upgrade. I got it for like $1,500. The brake pads are the Project Mu Club Sport brake pads. These are the brake pads that's super loud at the track, and then every time I come to a stop, people tell me to get brake pads. And no, that's because it's a racing pad, and you can see that how much dust it just creates. Right, it's all about performance. Noise is loud, it creates dust, but because race car, it's okay. Rotors are stop deck rotors, which I saw on my website for really cheap. And brake lines are Technofit as stainless steel brake lines. Got that for like $100. On the rotors, probably all around is $400. The Project Mu brake pads are probably about $400 also for the whole set. ARP extended wheel studs, $150 for the whole car. Muteki SL48 lug nuts. These things, I got 4 of them, and I have a lock-in lug nut as well, and I have these on my website too. Make sure to check that out. You can get these for like $100 for the whole set. The tire I'm running right now is 275/35 18 RE11s. Great tires, great street tire that's also truck capable. So much better than the RE01s I had before. I think I paid like $1,300 for these. And the rims are the Enki NT01s, 18 by 9.5 plus 27. Bought these for about $1,300, and you can get it on my website as well. Of course, like every other Evo, the Brembo is stock up front and back. The reason why there's 2 valve stems on the NT03s is because you can put air into it, fresh air into it, as you remove old air out. Or you can do like nitrogen type setup if you want. You can put nitrogen air inside the tire from in, and then get the old air out from out. Or you can just use 2 to pump up fast. Now going back to the exterior of the car, these are just Evo 8 taillights painted red. I did a video on that, so check that out if you haven't seen that. The exhaust system, I actually spent a lot of money on the exhaust. This is full titanium exhaust by Trusty. It's not made anymore. The whole exhaust setup from the cap back literally weighs like 20 pounds. I could pick it up with my pinky. That's how light this whole setup is. This full titanium exhaust, I got it for like $1,500. Yes, it's a mess in here, and trophies. The Taylor battery relocation kit is $180. The rear bumper is actually real JDM bumper right here. I got it for $800, and with JDM rear bumper, you have to have a JDM crash beam inside. So some people actually cut the USDM crash beam and weld that in, but what I did was just got the JDM rear crash beam, and that was about the $150, I think. The rear diffuser, Voltex rear diffuser, $400. This is actually the Virgin Select Voltex rear diffuser, because I like their style a little better than the Voltex kit actually. And speaking of Virgin Select, my side skirts are Virgin Select, my front bumper is also Virgin Select, and I think I paid about $1,000 for the side skirt and the bumper, and getting it painted, getting it fitted, and the clear coat and all that cost about, I think, $300, but I know the guy that paints this. The headlights I cleared and blacked out myself, but I know shops charge like $300 to $500 to clear these out. These are very easy. You just pop it in the oven, open it up, paint it, and you're good to go. The exhaust actually has QTP downpipe. Actually, I'm not sure if you can see that, but I did a video on this.
It's got the QTP electric cutout test pipe, so you can basically open it up and dump it to the ground. It's electronically controlled, $150. And I think that's about it. Downpipe is parent. Again, I think I paid about $150 for that too. Now, going to the engine bay, where I probably spent the most amount of money on. Okay guys, please don't talk about how dirty this engine bay is right now, because I haven't cleaned it, I haven't washed it, it's been just sitting. I haven't been driving the car at all. So the engine here, the head is the Buescher Stage 3 head. It's about $2,000. The valves have been oversized by 1mm on the intake and exhaust side. It's got dual stainless steel valve springs and titanium retainers and all that good stuff. The short block, $3,000. Buescher Stage 3 short block. It's got like Crowder rods, JE pistons, and this is actually the same setup that Buescher used to break the world record back, I don't know how long ago it was, like 10 years ago. They set the world record of 8 seconds for the first time with the same exact block and setup. And this is actually capable of pushing up to like 900 wheel horsepower and 10,000 RPM. And I have seen this same setup run 7 seconds at the track. All I need to do is really put the bigger turbo and bigger injectors and go E85 and fuel pump, and I can be making like 900 horsepower because I have the motor for it. So but again, I'm building my car for track use, so I don't really care about power and drag racing. To be honest, FP Black that's in this car right now is already kind of big for me, so I consider that downsizing. I'm using L19 ARP head studs and main studs. The cams in this that a lot of you guys ask me, because it sounds so aggressive and it sounds like a muscle car, is the BF272 cams, $650. The throttle body, which is down here, is ported by Buescher, 65mm, costs about $300. The Buescher's ported intake manifold, although it's stock looking, it's ported on the inside so it flows better, is $150. The coil plugs by spooling up, $400, and it has made the car feel so much easier, so much smoother to drive on the street. So I highly recommend getting these if you don't have these. Spooling up coil plugs. Injectors are 1000 cc's by PTE, $300. Volvo 255 fuel pump is $100, and I'm basically kind of maxing out in terms of fuel, so I need to upgrade on that. The intercooler is the Buescher's Race Core front mount intercooler, $800. It actually is wider than the bumper cutout, so I actually had to, when I installed this, I had to cut the bumper down a little bit, a couple inches, so that this big intercooler fits. I think it's 4 inches in depth. Correct me if I'm wrong. The lower intercooler piping and upper intercooler piping is also by Buescher, $600 together. The blowout is by Tile, $280. I'm still running the manual boost controller by Buescher, which costs about $100, but I plan on upgrading to the Grimspeed 3-port. Here it is. Here's the boost controller. Works fine, works great. And the blowout is recirculating, so it's the Tile QR. So you can see the recirculation happening there. Back to the intake pipe, and again, I considered going speed density, but I haven't done that yet because I just have so many projects. And the intake is Buescher's short ram intake, costs about $300. The motor mounts are the Torque Solution motor mounts. I don't remember how much these were. I think it was like $500 for the whole set, whole kit. Catch can, $130 by JMF. Coil red for a Evo 456 design. Actually, I got this for about $300. This actually goes straight down instead of the later generation Evos, like Evo 8s and 9s. You actually outlet, I think, around here, and the pipe would go in a S shape. Of course, you're getting close to the exhaust manifold, which is hot and it's not very efficient. So a lot of people, what they do, like me, is install the Evo 456 radiator in here, which is available on my website, and just run it straight down because it's more efficient and runs cooler. The FP Black inside here is ported, and it is Jono bearing. I wanted to go ball bearing, but at the time when I bought the FP Black, which is a long time ago, that option wasn't available. I picked it up for $2,000, and the Toxic Fab exhaust manifold, also beautiful piece of art, $750. The dump pipe, O2 dump, which literally dumps after the wastegate there, out the hood, is created by JMF, and it costs about $400. The oil cooler has been upgraded by STM's oil cooler kit, and it's about $300. Wait, which side? Yeah, it's over here. Sorry, it's on the right side on my FD. I'm used to walking on the FD now. So yeah, that's about it in terms of upgrades on my Evo. Now, when I put together all the cost and all the money I spent on this car, it came out to about $30,000 just in parts. So it's the car being, I don't know, worth like $15,000 to $18,000 here in the States. I have probably basically spent double the amount of what the car is worth to get to where I am today. However, like every other car guy will tell you, I built my car because it's my passion. I love racing, I love driving, and this is what gets me going. You gotta spend money on your hobbies and your passion, and I gotta tell you, it's worth every single penny. I still have a blast every time I drive it, and I hope this video clarifies a lot of things in terms of what's being done to the car, how much money I have spent, and okay, time as well. I have owned this Evo for like 7 years now, so I've spent a lot of time building this up. It has gone through a lot of transformation just in the past decade, and I know a lot about this car, and which is why I'm able to do my YouTube channel and share my knowledge with you guys. A lot of you might be thinking, okay, so if I have $30,000 I can build a car like C0s. No, I didn't include labor. The time I spent building this car is not included in that $30,000. Let's say if you make 10 bucks an hour, you gotta factor in, okay, exhaust installation, it's gonna take 3 hours. So that's, you know, $30 right there. You're dumping into the car basically. So you gotta think about not just the parts cost, but also the labor and all the time researching the car. So guys, I hope it was helpful. I hope I answered a lot of questions. This was just requested by one of my viewers, and I figured it will be a time to do in-depth review of my car. So like always, let me know if you have any questions. Send me a message on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll try to support and respond as much as possible. I will never get over how great this Evo sounds. This is the sound of Buescher 272s with 40 built Buescher engine.